As we continue this hour of the show, it's my pleasure to welcome Laurent Proulx onto the program. He's president and CEO of PROCURE. And Laurent, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Elias.
Reason you're on is because it's November, and when it's November, that means it's Bovember. For the third year in a row, I am an ambassador for PROCURE for Bovember, and of course, all of this has to do with prostate cancer and the fight against prostate cancer here in Quebec. Laurent, can you tell our listeners why this is such an important issue?
Well, actually, it affects 12 men per day in Quebec, prostate cancer. So it's a major disease, and you're looking at around 4,300 men that will have prostate cancer this year. And obviously, this year is a little bit special with the pandemic, is that some of the patients were not necessarily diagnosed, and some had their treatment postponed because of the pandemic. So it's even a more special year this year. We see it also on our support line, where we have calls from patients, being anxious and worried about their situation. So it's a tough year for patients all around. Mainly in prostate cancer.
Laurent, I hadn't even thought of that, right? And of course, it makes total sense. We have heard about people, that we had hospitals closed for certain appointments for quite some time, and we'd heard stories that cancer treatments is one of those things that had been delayed. Mm-hmm. That must be incredibly frustrating for you to hear these stories.
Well, yeah, and you have those men that were scheduled for an operation, and this was postponed. So maybe they'll have to have radiotherapy after their operation, which was not the case at the beginning when they started to plan their treatment. So, and all that is also a lot of anxiety, because you're not getting treated as soon as in the spring, as soon as you have been diagnosed. So this delay has impacted our patients. And what we've done is we did a lot of webinars in the spring, and also did a lot of webinars during Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in September. So, and we're having a conference on next Monday, New Therapies for Advanced Prostate Cancer. It's free. You can register on procure.ca, and it's Dr. Aaron Aprikin that will be leading the webinar. So it's from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m., Monday night. So just register. It's free, and this is the kind of services that we're providing for patients that have been afflicted with prostate cancer.
Laurent, while we've got this microphone here and we're reaching so many people right now, and in light of what you just mentioned, with people having diagnoses delayed because of the pandemic, what should our listeners know? I guess particularly men who deal with prostate cancer here. What are some of those signs? What kind of message you want to tell people today about making sure they get checked early? What should they be looking out for?
Well, if you have a history in your family, like I have 2 sons, well, they're at 4 times the risk of having prostate cancer. So you have a brother. If one of my brother was afflicted with prostate cancer, my sons would be also increased risk of having prostate cancer. But if you're taking someone, it's a discussion you should have with your GP. It's a discussion you have issues, all kind of issues related to the fact that you go up at night and you have to go to the toilet every hour, let's say. This is something you should have a discussion. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's prostate cancer, but at least have a discussion. There was a study in the U.S. saying that men prefer to do, chores in the house versus going to the doctor. 70% of men prefer that. So just by having a discussion with your GP, then at this point you can determine, what's the next step for. Is it to have a biopsy? Is it to have to go to further investigate? But at least if you talk about it, if you're diagnosed early, then the chances of having being cancer-free is greater than if you wait, for sure.
Laurent, let's talk about this Bovember edition 2020. And, I know for many charities and nonprofits, 2020 has been a tough year, right? Because you can't be out there, right?
Exactly.
So you're trying a lot of really unique things in light of that you can't do your normal events. So what does Bovember look like for PROCURE in 2020?
Well, obviously, we have this bow tie that is, usually you wear it in an event. And this year we've decided to bring a gourmet box, where a happy hour gourmet box, where you can buy a box where you'll have lots of nice thing in it, like maple blue PROCURE maple cotton candy and sausage and cheese and 2 beers and also a bow tie. So you can do your happy hour with friends. Just buy in the box and it will be delivered to your house. And this is something really we're trying to at least have, where we're doing a lot of conferences on the phone, over the computer, and we're all dressed in with t-shirts and everything. For one, do it with style and put a bow tie on and just do your conference with a bow tie.
Well, you know what? I absolutely love this gourmet gift box. In fact, I've just tweeted out a link. If you want to get this gourmet gift box, go to my Twitter at Elias Makos. You can also get the details at the PROCURE QC Twitter account as well. But this gift box, you were mentioning some of the things in here, Laurent. You mentioned the beer but it's really it's a great gift box here. And for $99, you're getting a couple of beers, you're getting some cheese, you're getting some maple meringue. Oh my goodness, some salt crackers, some sausage, some popcorn in there as well. The maple cotton candy. It's a really great way to get the message out, and also I think everyone would just enjoy eating everything that's in this box.
Obviously, yeah.
So I like that, Laurent, that you're thinking of unique ways this year. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Elias.
That's Laurent Proulx. He's president and CEO of PROCURE. And again, November is Bovember in the fight against prostate cancer.